La 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 lava, JJK chicken, Steve's lava chicken, yes, tasty. Oh yeah, I should do something with this. Hi, before this video starts, I would just like to say this video contains spoilers for Jujutsu Kaisen's manga and the anime, so if you wish to not be spoiled, I recommend you wait until I post these drawings on my YouTube community tab a day after this video is posted. Also, no AI was used when drawing or editing this video. All editing and drawing was done by me, and I hope you enjoy. Let's get on to the video. Remember back in 2023, it was right before the Shibuyans was about to air, and people were shipping JJK characters with Disney characters? Well, I don't. I didn't get into Jujutsu Kaisen until the summer 2024. But I was watching videos breaking down this period of time in the JJK fandom's history, and well, I was thinking, what would Disney princesses be like in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen? And that's what we'll be exploring today. Now, for this drawing experiment, I decided to go with 3 of the most popular characters used in this initial crossover shipping, being Tiana, Cinderella, and Elsa. And yes, before you scream at me in the comments, I know Elsa technically isn't a Disney princess, but she was one of the top 3 most popular characters from these crossover ships, so I wanted to include her. Also, the video title sounds more catchy. Now, let's start off this wild drawing experiment. So for the first character in our drawing experiment, we're going with the Ice Queen herself, the 5th spirit, Elsa! So mainly for Elsa's design, there's 2 things I knew I wanted to include. 1, inspiration from her traveling outfit from Frozen 2, and also her iconic braid. Because one thing I did want to go into creating these designs was, can I incorporate memorable elements from their iconic designs and also encapsulate some of their silhouettes? And Elsa's hair and braid are like one of her most iconic looks, so I definitely felt like if I included those, people would know, oh cool, that's Elsa. And when initially sketching out Elsa's design, I had the idea, I wonder how Elsa would actually be in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. How powerful would her curse technique be? Who would she have relationships with? And that's when, at this point in the drawing, I decided, hey, for all these characters, I'm going to treat them less as, oh, I'm drawing them if they were in Jujutsu Kaisen, but drawing them as if they were Jujutsu Kaisen OCs, like creative ones that people have made online for self-inserts or just a fun character. So I treated them more as like my original characters inspired by the Disney movies. So for Elsa, I thought of the idea, how would she even have a curse technique? And then I remembered, oh yeah, in Frozen 2, her mom was from that village or tribe. I don't really think it was ever fully explained. But it was revealed that her mom lived within a world of magic. So what if her mom was kind of like Toji? She's from a Jujutsu sorcerer family, but she doesn't have a curse technique, or she didn't have one that was very powerful. So she never became an official sorcerer or went to Jujutsu High. Then you can have a fun scenario where either in her younger years or older years, she saves Elsa's mom saves Elsa's dad from a curse spirit, because she can still see them, but maybe Elsa and Anna's father couldn't. So after saving him, the 2 fell in love and then settled down and had Elsa and Anna. And then you can incorporate more stuff from the movies with that, like Elsa developed a curse technique while Anna didn't. Her parents were worried about her, and Elsa injured Anna as a child with her curse technique. So then maybe Elsa and Anna's parents went to a Jujutsu sorcerer to get Anna's memories changed so she wouldn't remember Elsa's curse technique, and Elsa started suppressing it. Then I took inspiration from Frozen 2, where Anna and Elsa's parents, worried about their daughter, decide to take a trip to possibly an ancient shrine that's tale of a sorcerer or curse user with abilities similar to Elsa. And we will get into that part of the backstory I came up with later. But then they get the message, maybe from a Jujutsu sorcerer, maybe it's just given to them, that their parents died. And after hearing this information, Elsa, feeling so many negative emotions, has a breakdown where she injures Anna for a 2nd time and runs away. And this is where everyone's favorite character, Gojo, the Honored One, shows up. So basically, I like the idea of Gojo showing up and kind of being a replacement for Kristoff, just minus the whole shipping with Anna thing, because no. Personally, I don't ship Gojo with anyone unless it's Gato or Nanami in rare occasions. So yeah, no Gojo X Elsa in this AU idea. Also, I mainly a headcanon Elsa as Arrow Ace, so I don't really ship her with anyone in general. Okay, back to the main point. So I like the idea of Anna and Gojo going to help Elsa, and Gojo offering them both a place at Jujutsu High where they can learn to control Elsa's curse technique, but also Anna could get some training too. Maybe Elsa's second attack imbued Anna with curse energy, so she now has a technique, or she has enough curse energy to learn something like new Shadow Style. But back to focusing on Elsa's technique. There is a problem when I discovered when developing her having a technique. If I did it too closely to another character, she would just become an Urame clone. And I knew I didn't want that, but there needed to be a reason why she has a powerful ice technique. And then I thought, what if Anna and Elsa are descendants or distant relatives of Urame? Because that could absolutely work. We know Gojo and Yuta were revealed to be distant relatives, so why couldn't Urame be distant relatives to Anna and Elsa in this what if? Like, imagine Elsa learned to imbue curse energy into snow sculptures, and those are basically Olaf and Marshmallow and the Snow Geese. She has little Shikigami-like buddies that help her fight and protect people, while Urame mainly focuses on, freezing their enemies to death. I could just imagine Elsa seeing Urame at the end of Shibuya, being terrified seeing like a possible warped version of herself if she didn't get help from Gojo in her youth. Like, just imagine Elsa learning about Urame from like Tengen, or just fighting them like before Shinjuku, but during the Culling Games. I could just see Elsa being like, that could have been my possible future, but she doesn't become that. She learns from observing Urame and learning more about her technique, and maybe she develops being able to create ice and creates crazy ice structures like Urame does. And imagine her and Anna joining Hikari, stopping Urame in the Shinjuku Showdown. That would be awesome. And then maybe the fight would have been almost entirely off screen, and then we could have seen Urame fight one more time before they died. I'm a bias towards Urame. They're one of my favorite characters in JJK. I wish we got to see more of them fighting. But yeah, here is Elsa as a Jujutsu sorcerer. I imagine her as a first grade Jujutsu sorcerer with the curse technique snow manipulation, with an outfit mainly inspired by her Frozen 2 traveling look. And yeah, I'm really happy with how Elsa's design came out. She's definitely one of the easier ones to do. But now we're going to move on to Cinderella. So Cinderella was really fun for me to design, mainly because she's my favorite Disney princess, and honestly I could go into a whole video talking about my love for the Cinderella Disney movies, but that's for another video entirely. And I also knew for her design, I wanted to be inspired by her beautiful ball gown look, not just from the official marketing in the movie, but also from her live action look, because that dress is iconic, and the live action Cinderella is one of the best live action Disney films. You can fight me on this. But yeah, I also knew there was two possible routes I could have gone down. I could have done a route where it makes sense to ship Sukuna and Cinderella, since that's one of the main popular ships from the crossover era, Cinderella and Sukuna. Or I could go a completely different route and have her be a more modern Jujutsu sorcerer. And I was like, you know what, I have a really cool idea for her being more of a modern sorcerer instead of like an incarnated one who knew Sukuna in the past. So yeah. Sorry guys, no Sukuna X Cinderella in this video. So I decided, what if Cinderella was a young girl who could see curses? And her father believed her, and so did her mother, but after both her parents died, and after being put in the care of her stepmother, her family ostracized her for seeing these weird things and forced her to be a servant in their own home. And Cinderella developed a curse technique, but since Cinderella doesn't really hang on to negative emotions like others do, she doesn't have that much cursed energy, because we know cursed energy comes from negative things, but since Cinderella doesn't really view a lot of things as negative, or she doesn't focus on the negatives, she's more of a positive person, so she wouldn't have that much of cursed energy. Now, before going into the rest of Cinderella's backstory, I want to take a moment to talk about her curse technique. I like the idea of her having a curse technique similar to construction, but instead of being able to create anything that she can picture from her curse energy, she's able to create different kinds of glass. And I like this idea because one of Cinderella's most iconic things is her glass slippers, and it's just like, hey, why not incorporate a way for her to use cool glass attacks? Cinderella most likely wouldn't use attacks. She'd be more a defense, creating like shields, but also, what if she creates little glass sculptures of, say, her mice and bird friends and imbues them with cursed energy so that they could act as scouts? She wouldn't be a powerful sorcerer in the attacking sense, but she'd be great for reconnaissance. Think Maymay, but Cinderella is inherently better because screw Maymay. She's like one of the worst characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. Why did she exist and have a happy ending? But yeah, back to the main, her Cinderella's backstory in this. So I took inspiration from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep for this part of what if Cinderella's stepfamily grew so much resentment towards her, it created a powerful cursed spirit, and Cinderella did her best to shield her stepfamily, even though all of the horrible things they did to her, and a Jujutsu sorcerer showed up to save her. What Jujutsu sorcerer, you ask? Her fairy godmother, who I would like to think would be like an older Jujutsu sorcerer, and she finds Cinderella and offers to take her out of her horrible stepfamily so she could learn to control her abilities. And the stepfamily is like more than willing to get rid of Cinderella at this point, because it's just like, hey, they think that she just summoned a monster and tried to protect them from it, because Cinderella's stepfamily sucks. Unless it's Anastasia, because she rules. But anyways, I like the idea of Cinderella's fairy godmother taking her in, teaching her how to be a Jujutsu sorcerer, and then in her teens, she goes to Jujutsu High, where she enrolls in one of the classes. Since Cinderella is canonically 19, I think her and Ino would be a really cool duo in the classroom setting. And this is where my cool idea is. So step aside, Sukuna x Cinderella, Cinderella x Ino shit coming in hot, created by me. Because imagine, Cinderella knows how to do a lot of sewing from being forced to be a maid in her own house. And what does Ino wear to use his curse technique? He has his beanie. So imagine Cinderella and Ino's going on missions where Cinderella helps patch up his beanie, and the two become friends, and even maybe in a romantic sense, because just imagine how cute that would be. But also, I came up with this other idea. What if Cinderella also helps create the uniforms for Jujutsu sorcerers? Because it's something we never get touched on. In things like My Hero Academia, it's explained how the heroes get their outfits. There's agencies that create the outfits for the heroes. But we don't really know how Jujutsu sorcerers get their uniforms. So what if they got their uniforms from several sorcerers who make them imbued with cursed energy, and Cinderella helps design them? Like, imagine her meeting Yuji and being like, oh yeah, your outfit was something interesting for me to design. And like, she helps people like that. She helps make outfits for them. So yeah, that's how I imagine Cinderella as a Jujutsu sorcerer. She's a 4th grade sorcerer with the technique glass formation, being able to create small glass statues that she imbues with her cursed energy to act as scouts, taking inspiration from her mice, birds, and maybe butterfly friends, from when she was forced to be a servant in her own home. Cinderella wouldn't be a very powerful sorcerer, but she'd be one that everyone is glad to be around. And now, time for the problem children amongst these guys. Tiana. Time for the third and final character for this drawing experiment, Princess Tiana. Now, Tiana was one of the most popular characters from the initial crossover ship because of the idea of her being shipped with Nanami. Two hardworking people struggling to survive, becoming friends, maybe romantically enamored with each other. Like, I can see the chemistry. But the problem with creating Tiana as a Jujutsu sorcerer is, what the hell would her curse technique be? Because, like, Tiana's known for cooking and being turned into a frog within the first, 20 minutes of the movie. How do I make a curse technique out of that? Does she just turn into a frog randomly? No, that wouldn't work. Does she cook things and then she gets heals or buffs to people? I mean, no, that's basically Julieta from Encanto. That doesn't work. But then I remembered something from the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. The new Shadow Style School. Basically a way for people with no curse technique to become Jujutsu sorcerers. And here's where the backstory comes in. So basically you get classic Tiana story. She grew up in poverty and her dad instilled dreams within her to have her own restaurant. Maybe her dad was a Jujutsu sorcerer, maybe not. You can figure that out for your own headcanons about these guys. But I like the idea of Tiana really wanting to become a Jujutsu, not a restaurant owner, but then getting thrust into the world of Jujutsu. Maybe she started out working at the cafe that Nanami went to and saw him occasionally and felt a weird presence around him. And then, what if Tiana ended up being attacked by one of the Shadow Man, aka Dr. Facilier's Shikigami, or a cursed spirit he's able to control, and then she's thrust into the world of Jujutsu, where she's basically in danger and maybe trying to help turn Naveen back into a human, because I'm not turning into a frog. And what if Nanami is the one who decides to help her? And she also becomes friends with Kusakabe, who teaches her about the new shadow style. Maybe Tiana decides that she's going to take matters into her own hands and help protect people so she could also open a restaurant. And you might be wondering, but Ace, new shadow style is used by sword wielders. How would Tiana use it? I raise you this. Tiana doesn't use a sword. Because think about it. Nanami recruits her. She becomes friends with Nanami. Yes, I'm taking the Nanami x Tiana route with this. It's such a cute ship. Sue me. But yeah, imagine her using new shadow style with cooking utensils. Nanami uses a freaking blunt knife. I can picture this. She just whacks a curse on the head with a spoon, saying new shadow style, quick draw, and boom. Maybe she develops her own versions of new shadow style to fit her cooking utensils. She uses a spoon to whack people, a whisk to hit people, a little spatula to slice them. I could just see so many possibilities with this. Like, oh my gosh, I had so many fun ideas. But yeah, I could also see Tiana maybe working at Jujutsu High as a way to work on her cooking talents, her helping cater the school's lunches, because it's like, what do those guys eat there? It's like, do they live on DoorDash? I could just see her helping create nutritious meals for all the students, but also her being mortified at freaking Yuji eating a finger, and then maybe her trying to develop like a sauce or something so that it doesn't taste horrible when Yuji eats it. Like, imagine if Gato didn't turn evil and he met Tiana and Tiana like fixed like the curse balls he had to eat so then they like don't taste horrible. Just like she put some ketchup in, like mess around and be like, here, eat it like this, and then maybe Gato wouldn't have turned evil. But yeah, now to talk about Tiana's actual design. I decided to take less inspiration from her ball gown look and take more inspiration from her working outfit. Because again, I like the idea of Nanami recruiting her, so I thought, hey, what if I combine like the colors from her wedding outfit, but with like more of the format of her working outfit. So I decided to give her a nice button-up top, some nice green pants, and her little apron, because it's like, hey, maybe she's getting out of the kitchen to kick Gojo's butt for stealing food. I also decided to incorporate the little lotus flower from her wedding dress design as like a little hairpin. Maybe it's something from her father that he gave to her, or maybe it's like a token from Naveen for trying to help him turn back into a human, because Naveen's a bit of a dumbass. But yeah, I just really enjoyed creating Tiana's design, even though coming up with the curse technique was a bit of a challenge. I did enjoy creating like this new version of New Shadow Style. It's honestly an element in the story that I wish we were able to learn more of before the manga's end. Maybe they'll add in more scenes about it in the anime. But yeah. Tiana was definitely the most difficult out of everyone to create and design, but honestly, I think she turned out to be one of the best looking ones. If I had to rank it, personally, Cinderella's my favorite, then Tiana, then Elsa. Mainly design-wise. But yeah. This video was extremely fun to make, and I want to do more in the future. If you guys enjoyed this kind of video, let me know down in the comments, and let me know what other Disney characters you would like to see turn into Jujutsu sorcerers. I could do more princesses, I could do like the family from Encanto as Jujutsu sorcerers, I could do Disney fairies, that would be fun. I could do Disney villains as curses or curse users, but yeah. There's so many possibilities with this idea, and the Jujutsu Kaisen brain rot's just gonna keep coming for me until it eventually dies out or gets replaced when season 8 of MHA comes out. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye!